Hey guys, so we are just getting this fully set up. In the replay, if you're watching, I will be posting a timestamp to when the video actually starts, but right now we're just making sure everything is set up and streaming on Facebook right now, so check it out on Facebook Live if you are in the live. If you are here, let me know. Drop me a comment, say hello, introduce yourself, don't be shy, but we will be getting to it very shortly. Alrighty. So basically this video is just going to be it's a new series that I thought of. I just wanted to do something live with you guys, be more interactive. And I figured a weekly recap at the end of the week, just summing up really all of the important resources that I've come across this week, would be a good way to do that. So that is what we're doing in this video, just some cool resources that I found, some relevant news for college students, and so on. So let me just get this Facebook working and we will get to it. All right. How does Facebook work? Who knows? Wow. I really don't know how Facebook works. There we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. Wonderful. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. Amazing. All right, so now we are good to go. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are everywhere. So if you guys are here, be sure to drop me a comment, let me know what's up. Say hello, don't be shy. And let us just get right into it. Okay, so weekly recap this week, week of the 7th of May to the 11th of May. And essentially what this series is meant to be is it's meant to be a recap of what was basically in the news this week, cool stories that I found that I just wanted to share with you guys in a more like interactive way. Also, if you guys do have any questions, be sure to let me know those as well. I'll be answering any questions as well in these live stream sessions that will be going on every Friday at around 2 p.m. We'll try to get as close as we can, but you know, sometimes life happens. So essentially just, yeah, key resources that I think can benefit college students. So what do we have this week? What are we going to be talking about this week? The first thing is, I didn't just graduate, but just finished my first year of college. And since finals are wrapping up, that means graduation is here. And with graduation, with college comes student loans. So the student loan debt, the cumulative student loan debt in the United States this year at graduation actually just surpassed $1.5 trillion. And I think this is just absurd. I mean, like, it's an absurdly large number, so it's really hard. I mean, I can't even wrap my head around how much money $1.5 trillion is. Like, that's so absurd that there's that much student loan debt out there. And then the average student graduates with something like $37,000 of debt. I mean, this is so absurd. It's so not sustainable in any way. And just the fact that this number has just grown so dramatically. Like, the amount of student loan debt has literally more than tripled in the last 10 years. It's just such unsustainable growth that, I mean, it really feels like a bubble to me, and it really feels like it's gonna pop in a really big way. So I'm gonna link up a good article that I found on sort of where student loan debt is at right now. I'm gonna link that in both the Facebook description, I guess, and the YouTube description as well. But just looking at these graphs, and how 1 in 6 graduates, 1 in 6 people that graduate from college has debt that exceeds the income that they're making per year. So it's just absurd that students are gonna have this debt for at least a decade, if not more. There are senior citizens right now who still have student loan debt, and I think that is just such an absurd thing to be dealing with in our country right now. Just the fact that, I mean, the economy is doing great. Like, everything is great except student loan debt is just such a huge issue. Like yeah, it's freaking crazy, guys. So check out this article, learn a little bit more about how student loans have just like exploded over the last 10 years, because that's absurd in my the next thing I want to talk about is sort of shifting gears here to credit cards. So moving away from student loans, that's a huge issue in itself. I could talk about that all day, but we're gonna move over to credit cards. And one of the big credit card names out there right now is Sapphire Reserve. So among like travel credit cards, this is kind of like the creme de la creme, unless you're really into like high class, like live in large travel. Like if that's not you, then the Chase Sapphire Reserve is like the card. So the Chase Sapphire Reserve this week it was announced that this card is having its benefits pretty severely cut. So there's 3 big changes that are coming to this card, and this card was really like my dream credit card. It still sort of is, but with these changes, I might be reconsidering where I'm sort of headed in terms of credit cards. So let me just share with you guys what was actually announced to do with the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So this past Saturday, the credit blog Doctor of Credit posted an image of a leaked internal document from Chase that suggested that 3 benefits that come with the popular Sapphire Reserve card will be devalued in August. So these changes aren't coming yet. They're not going to come till August, but they were leaked this week. So I thought I would talk about them now so that you can know about them and plan your credit with these changes in mind. So this first one's pretty insignificant. Just that with the card, you actually get a $300 credit towards any travel purchases. So if you get like a plane ticket, you just automatically get $300 reduced off that. It also works for like Uber Eats actually as well. So there's a lot of ways to apply this travel credit, but the thing that they're changing is that before with this travel credit, you used to be earning points on that $300 that you spent. So say you bought a plane ticket for $300, you got it for free, but you were still earning points on top of that. So you also got an additional like $10 for free. In addition to this travel credits, they're basically just saying, no, you can't do that. So essentially you're just losing out on like $10 worth of value with this change. No big deal. Next one has to do with Priority Pass. So if you're not familiar, Priority Pass is sort of this system of airport lounges. So if you've ever been in an airport and you've seen these like bougie looking lounges with like business people like getting their free like drinks, free sushi and whatnot, it might have been a Priority Pass lounge. So they have a network of over 1,000 lounges across the world actually. And with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, currently what you can do is if you have this card, you can bring an unlimited number of guests into these lounges and get free drinks, free alcohol, free food, free showers, all this free stuff. And you can bring an unlimited amount of people in there. So as you can see, there could be a problem with that. Like say you're on a trip with like 20 people, one of you has this credit card and all of you just flood into this bougie airport lounge. They're probably not gonna be too thrilled about that. And Chase is not too thrilled about that either because they are the ones footing the bill for you getting into this lounge. Because normally to get into these lounges, you need to have a membership and you need to pay, usually it's like $40, I think, per person to enter this lounge. So Chase is footing that bill to get you and your 20 guests into this lounge. So as you can see, those costs are gonna add up pretty quickly. And just for some context, most other premium travel credit cards, so like the Amex Platinum, the Citi Prestige, these cards do have a limit on the number of people you can bring in for free. So usually it's like you can have 2 guests with you for free, and then every additional guest is gonna have to pay. So the fact that this is the only card out there that lets you have an unlimited amount of guests, so they're doing away with that and they're bringing it down to the standard of only 2 guests per visit. So I mean, it makes sense because you can't just be bringing 20 friends into a bougie airport lounge, or like your whole family. It makes sense that they're doing this change, and I totally understand why this is a thing. And then the third change that they're doing with this card is previously this card had price protection, which until with that, but what price protection is essentially if you buy something, say you buy something on Amazon, $50, you spend $50 on like a Bluetooth keyboard or something. And then a week later, you see that Bluetooth keyboard has dropped down in $25. With price protection, what you can do is you can call up Chase, you can be like, hey, I paid $50, now it's only selling for $25, give me the difference. And if you can prove that there is a valid offer at a lower price, they will actually refund you that difference. So that's what price protection is. And there are actually some apps now that you can just plug in your credit card and it'll automatically check all of your purchases to see if you're eligible for any essentially free money. So before those, price protection didn't really matter very much. You couldn't really do much with it. But since those apps got big, Chase is having to pay out a lot of money in price protection. So they decided to do away with this feature on all of their cards, actually, not just the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So all of their cards are no longer going to have price protection, which is a bit unfortunate. But I mean, since it was just so easy to get that money back now, they sort of had to say, hey, we can't really afford to be giving you guys all this money, so we're gonna have to cut the benefits here just a little bit. Now, going on with credit cards even more, I got my third mailer from Discover this week. They've been sending me a lot of these shiny envelopes, which are pretty cool looking, but they're trying to get me to sign up for the Chrome card, which is a student credit card. The perks aren't that great, honestly, so there's a 0% chance I sign up for this card now or ever. I mean, now I'm not going to sign up for it because I'm trying to get my 524 cards in. So if you're not familiar with 524, it's basically just a rule by Chase that if you have 5 new credit cards in the last 24 months, then they're going to reject you automatically for a whole host of their cards. So because of that, I'm trying to get a bunch of Chase cards in right now. So Discover is definitely not a priority. And I do have some Discover cards on my radar that I'm looking to get, namely the Discover It card and the Discover Miles card. But the Chrome card is just nowhere on that list. I don't see myself ever applying for a Discover Chrome card. Just because, I mean, the benefits are really, it's just 2% cash back at gas stations and restaurants, which is fine, but 2% in the grand scheme of things is pretty weak. I mean, in the first year, they do have their Discover cashback match, so essentially you get 4% in the first year, but I figure between hitting sign-up bonuses and just rotating 5% category cards, like the Chase Freedom and the Discover It card, I can easily beat a 4% cashback rate just on gas stations and restaurants. So yeah, this card is definitely not a priority for me. They do have like the other standard Discover stuff, like your $20 statement credit for good grades, cashback match, no fees, all that good stuff. And one thing I really do like about Discover, I think it's pretty underrated, is that with the Discover cards, you actually really get to customize what your card looks like, which I'm all about that. As you can tell, I'm really into colors and like shiny things. So that's definitely one of the reasons I want to go for that Discover It card pretty soon, get those customizable options, get some cool new colors in my wallet. And yeah, these have like invitation codes on them, and I'm definitely not going to use them. So if somebody wants like a invitation code for Discover Chrome cards, I have like 3 of them. So if you want that, if you want the Discover Chrome card, maybe hit me up, send me a message, shoot me an email. I don't know. They're yours if you want them. Shifting over to stocks. The stock market is going pretty ham lately. Over the last week, my stock portfolio has risen just a little over 6%, pretty close to 6.5% actually. So that's been ridiculous. Like, stocks are going crazy right now. Just a couple names of stocks that I have that are doing pretty well. Google is up more than 5%. Tesla's up over 5% in the last week. Facebook, Apple, Wynn Resorts has been really killing it lately. They sort of had this big scandal a while back, and everybody was like, ooh, not going to touch Wynn Resorts. But I held strong, and we're doing pretty good. We're up around the $200 mark, so definitely happy with that. And even GE. So GE has been kind of a sleeper for a while. I definitely got in on GE way too early. Definitely first one to admit that. But they're up about, I think, a little over 5% this week, so not too bad there. Definitely got in way early, but we're still looking all right. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say about my stocks. They're doing pretty great. We were down a while. I think it was, what was it, end of May. We had that correction there, so they were down a bit there, but now we're picking back up again. Life is good. And another thing I want to talk about, I got this article sent to me by this dude I'm working with, and it's about productivity. And I read this article, and I was just like blown away by this article. I'm gonna link it up below. But this article, it's all about productivity, and it's written by this dude, like a no-name dude, never heard of him. but it's got like 213,000 views, which is just crazy. And it's this guy's blog. I don't even know. I'm getting off topic, but it really got me to put some perspective on what I'm doing with YouTube, with my business. So I think it's a really valuable article. I'll link it up down below, but just some things that I got out of this article. This guy's prioritization system. He says he's got a system. It's got 3 main pillars, and these are his 3 main pillars, and these have really resonated with me, and I'm really applying these into my own life right now and making sure I'm sticking with these pillars because they just really resonate with me. Okay, so the first one is make sure to get the important shit done. The second one is don't waste time on stupid shit. And the third one is make lots of lists. So I don't really make that many lists. Usually I make like a little 3-box checklist every morning right when I wake up, just like the 3 big things I want to get done in the day. But the first 2 are definitely the ones that I like really need to get on. And that's one of the reasons why I put this video schedule together, just because I wanted to make sure I focused on what was important and I wasn't just all over the place trying to do everything. I think it's really important to sort of zone in on just a couple key things, and that's why I really wanted to focus this channel more in on credit cards, investing, and then my podcast as well. So those are the 3 main pillars of this channel. I think going forward, these definitely could change, but for now, that's what we're sticking with. And then don't waste time on stupid shit. So I waste so much time just honestly watching music videos on YouTube. I can get like sucked down a rabbit hole for like 3 hours just watching so many music videos. And I mean, they're cool, but like there is a point where 3 hours of music videos is no longer a good use of your time. So I think it's really important to just have your priorities and know what's important, what is worth getting done in the day, and what you can sort of just afford not to do and to not spend your time on. And yeah, he makes a lot of lists, but I don't know. I like lists. I like them when they're written down on a piece of paper rather than like on a website, on Evernote or something like that. I really like lists, physical lists, just because being able to cross things out, being able to like shift things over to different lists, it's just a lot more convenient for me to have that on a physical piece of paper rather than on a device. But yeah, lists, not so much for me. And the last thing that I want to talk about is over this last week and in the last weekend when I was supposed to be studying for my midterms, or my finals rather, I was getting really into Gary Vaynerchuk. So if you guys aren't familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, he's a serial entrepreneur. He has this huge media company that does marketing for tons of big businesses. But he has this show on YouTube called the Ask Gary V Show. And essentially, young people, aspiring entrepreneurs, really anybody can call in to his show, ask him any questions they want, usually business related, and he'll just give them like straight up, like really raw and powerful advice. And I've been getting really into that. I watched so much of that this last weekend. Definitely at least like 4 or 5 hours worth of that. But it's been really valuable, and I'm definitely getting a lot of key lessons from Gary Vaynerchuk and just the stuff that he puts out there. He's just a really interesting guy. I'm really interested in just his life in general, honestly. One of the things he does is he has a camera person literally follow him his entire workday, just filming, because he never knows when something's gonna happen that's like interesting, or like he's gonna say something interesting. I don't even know. But then he has this dude like edit the whole thing down, and then every day he posts like a 30-minute video of like the summary of like his meetings and stuff. I haven't really gotten into those yet, but I think that's really interesting that this guy pays somebody to just follow him around with a camera. Like, I don't know, that seems pretty wacky to me, but he's definitely a very interesting dude. And he's definitely got some really cool stuff to say. I really do vibe with a lot of this stuff that he does say. And yeah, I've just been really getting into Gary Vaynerchuk. I'll link his channel below as well, just because I think he has a lot of really cool stuff to say. And if you're a young person trying to start a business, I think he can provide some really, really good insights and some really valuable, just like a wake-up call, really. Because I thought, I don't know, I had some ideas in my head. I listened to some of the stuff he said, and it sort of gave me sort of like a paradigm shift. I won't go that far, maybe like a perspective change. But yeah, he's got some really interesting stuff to say. Definitely don't like vibe with all of it, but yeah, I would definitely recommend checking him out. He's got some cool stuff going on his channel over there. I had one more thing to say. Shoot. I don't remember what I was going to say. But yeah, that was pretty much what I had in my mind for this week. If you guys enjoyed this style of video, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely be sure to look at those and see what we liked about this video, what we didn't, and if it's something that I plan on keeping in the rotation or not. Additionally, if you have a better name for this than like a weekly recap, I would definitely be interested. I think weekly recap is a pretty lame name. So if you've got something better, definitely let me know in the comments below. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have for this video. Thank you very much for sticking around. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Actually, no, I won't. It's the weekend. But I'll see you guys on Monday. And until next time.